All right, we are back. We are back. Hey, there you are. Still awake?
Feels like we time traveled.
Still. Where's the fresh one? Sorry. Anyway,
Segment
two,
brought to you
by the good doctor.
The good doctor.
The good doctor.
No, not McGillicuddy. We're talking.
Although he's not a bad one.
That's
either.
true. We're
not
talking
we like you
Dr. Pepper and cream soda, zero sugar.
Zero sugar.
The black and tan can.
Black and tan
over
can.
ice with a little bit of Tito's.
Yeah, a little bit of Tito's after a little bit of Betty. A little bit of Betty. I'll tell you, he's gonna sleep like a baby tonight.
Tell you what, it really takes the shakes away.
It does. Yeah,
right?
It does, yeah.
You come in with the trims.
Yeah, you come in from a stressful day at work,
Woo!
you know, talking to some crazy-ass people who you feel sorry for and want to kill at the same. There's a conundrum. You feel sorry for them, and you want to kill them in the same instant. Anyway, segment 2, we are going to dabble into the NBA draft, post-draft, if you will.
Post-mortem.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm wearing the hat because for the first time in a long time since the season ended, I actually feel pretty good about the Boston Celtics today. Brad Stevens gets a lot of crap because he's considered a good coach, but he never quite got there. Got to the finals twice in college, back-to-back, lost heartbreakers both years. He did it with Butler.
He did that from Butler.
He did it from Butler. One pro on the whole roster, the kid Gordon Hayward, who turned into a heck of an NBA player.
Didn't they have another guy, Mac?
Hayward was the dude.
Oh, yeah, no, I know.
Hayward was the dude.
But
Three-time All-Star.
Who was the other guy with him?
He's in Charlotte now, Hayward. I don't know. There was another guy, but I don't know if he got drafted. Did he make it to the pros? I think Stevens only had one draft pick, and that speaks to his coaching ability. Then he comes to Boston. They go to 4 conference finals, but he's got a super young team. They never quite get over the hump. LeBron got in the way a couple times, and then, of course, we have got Miami Heat, who have they've become one of the Eastern powers, traditional Eastern powers. You kind of have to say it. So there's obstacles in the East, to say the least. And then, Philly with Embiid is now around, and Cleveland's getting better. So, Brad Stevens did a hell of a job. And Ime Udoka came out of nowhere last year, took him to the finals, and they fucking pissed it away. I gave a lot of crap to Mazzulla this year. It was his first year as a coach. He took his lumps, as we all expected. But, he did some good things, too. We got to be fair. There were some things he did, especially in that Miami series, that helped him get back into that series. You can't ignore that. Because, honestly, he took all the heat after they got embarrassed in Game 3. Most first-year coaches would never have done that. First-year guy, 34 years old.
And
he did that.
And he also yelled at them.
And he did. He did. But he also corrected himself. He went back to the big lineup in the Philly series, which inevitably saved him in the Philly series. He finally went back to the lineup that got him the finals. He swallowed his pride and did the right thing. So he's not above that, which is a good sign for a coach. You got to be able to do that, because that's hard when especially when you're good at what you do. It's hard. And look, for all the shit I give Bill Belichick, the man's also, as a coach, from an X's and O's standpoint, he's done some things over the years that are fucking masterpieces.
This is refreshing.
It's, some fucking masterpieces.
Are we showing love for our teams tonight?
Oh,
man, this should be a recurring segment where we give a little love.
If we're up at 2 o'clock in the morning, again, Betty, the doctor, Tito. We've had some help. Of course, everybody.
Is it the Trinity?
Well, the Trinity for me, I got the 3 B's I was talking about there. I've got Betty Blendlin beneath you, who's my blender. Talk about making magic, that girl. And then my wife, Becky. So I got the 3 B's in life. Becky, Blendlin, Betty.
The Trinity I'm talking about for the feeling we have right now.
Oh, it's got to be Betty, Tito's, and the doctor. I think that's a prescription for success. I think if I were talking to a patient right now, I'd do a little note. So, yep, go here.
No, but look, here's what I'm saying.
Give me a prescription.
I think I've never heard you speak this highly of your teams, your current teams. I've heard you speak this highly of past teams.
Okay.
So this is refreshing. And I think it would be healthy for us if at least once every 2 weeks we devoted a segment to showing our team some love. Not if it's not deserved.
Hold on. I'll tell you why.
Finding the good.
There's only one time we could do it. It would be Saturday night, Sunday morning. Because we have nothing going on.
It's like church for us?
It is. It's our church. It's our late night ceremony. Or early morning.
It's our midnight mass.
Midnight mass.
All right.
We could call it midnight mass.
Midnight mass.
There you see, he's a genius. Midnight mass. Every Saturday night, come to midnight mass.
Want to hear some prayers?
Want to hear some prayers?
We got them.
Anyway, but what I'm saying is that...
Please fucking Mets. Jesus Christ almighty.
Almighty. I mean, so...
Wake up!
So, well, maybe they did today. Scherzer had a quality start today. That's a start. You got to start somewhere. That's a pretty good start. See what happens tomorrow. If they get blown out 11-0 tomorrow, Then we can have the misery. Then we can have misery Monday.
Then I can fucking bring a sledgehammer to midnight mass.
Midnight mass.
And the altar's getting fucking busted.
He takes
wide
a fucking
open.
gasoline and a match to an
Exactly.
altar.
I'm kicking the altar over.
He fucking pulls a Lucifer and goes,
They
fuck
lose
this
11
shit.
nothing tomorrow.
Oh,
God is
God.
fucked. Never seen my face.
That
again.
altar is not going to look pretty on Monday. But anyway, now look, Missoula
Knocking communion. all over.
did some things that I didn't think he was capable of mentally of doing. And at 34 years old, that's impressive. So, because guys that are 20 years older than them have a hard time doing
you
that.
You don't.
So,
Okay, so look, even though the situation happened with Udoka, right, that kind of forced him into this role,
which
you
the
don't
Celtics
get,
dropped the ball on
right,
that.
but
They
you
did.
don't get to be in the position where you're second from the top if you're a dummy.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. And
Even though he was forced into
is
this,
Brad Stevens is not a dummy. Missoula is not a dummy.
Yeah.
And apparently he's not too stubborn where when the season was on the line, he did the right thing. And that's a start. But here's the thing. What the Celtics did the other day, trading for Kristaps Porzingis, and we've talked about it a little bit, but we really understand, and I was trying to explain this to Joel, but the thing is, the reality is, what Porzingis does to them...
Joel loved it.
Well, he did. That's why he actually liked this move.
Joel loves this trade.
So the bottom line, they have a big three. They've got 3 20-point scorers. Not one of them is 28 years old yet.
Yeah.
I want you to think about that for a minute. They've got 3 20-point scorers. They're 27, 27, and 26. What NBA team wouldn't want to have this problem right now? Okay? And then now I loved the original pick of having a point guard, but when I saw what they ended up getting, it actually made more sense because they traded him. They must have made 5 moves to get this guy, this kid from Arkansas, who is a six. They made like 5. There's like trade. There's multiple trade. There was 4 or 5 transactions that ended up with him.
That led to him.
So Brad Stevens, I think, had this guy targeted because he moved heaven and earth to get him. He literally did. And when I look at him on tape, I can see why Stevens did it. He has targeted certain teams, and I love this about him because GMs do this. Who do we got to beat to win this thing? Like at the end of the day, who's going to be in our way? He has identified who those teams are, and he is addressing how to beat each one of them. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a good GM. That's not just where do I spend the money. No. It's not where. It's what am I spending it on? What am I bringing here that's going to get this team to the podium with the trophy? That's what a GM is supposed to be thinking 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And Brad Stevens this week has shown that. Because a lot of people, and it wasn't easy, he took Marcus Smart out. The longest tenured Celtic, a lot of people up there think he's the pulse of that team. The shockwaves up there the past 48 hours have been ridiculous. And I get why. But the thing is,
it's such a risky play because if it blows up, they will shit all over.
They will show up, but here's the thing. He has deduced they have hit their ceiling with Marcus Smart. They gave him 2 years to win a championship, and he had a lot of talent around him. And if you have look at Murray for Denver, you have to have that dude with the ball, a point guard who's a leader. Murray's a leader for Denver. They have deduced that Marcus Smart is not the guy that's going to take us over the top. And by the way, there's a mountain of evidence to support their decision.
So do you think Marcus Smart is a leader?
Nope.
So now you go put him up with.
I think he's.
What about with John Morant?
I think he'll help him.
Yeah.
I think he's perfect
Marcus
for that.
Smart's not like a bad guy.
He's not a bad guy, and I love him. I said the other day, I love him because of his defense, but he didn't play that defense all fucking year, and I was the first one to call him on it, and it fell on deaf ears. But apparently it didn't because Brad Stevens saw what I saw. And by the way,
so you think Brad Stevens got that from you?
No, I don't know where he got it from, but he did it. I don't care where he got it from.
But were you expecting them to do something when you
No,
said
I
it?
was not. I never thought they'd move on from him. I thought they were too stubborn to do it. And Brad Stevens one-upped me. And
it takes guts to take one of the key pieces.
Brad, salute. Because honestly, that's what a great GM does. They didn't cross the finish line. Again, and they had the most talented roster in the league for the second year in a row. And did it. So this guy took a hard look. He did, because this was not an easy decision. By all accounts, he was crying when he did it. Like, literally, the man had tears in his eyes. We talked about Marcus Smart. It was the hardest thing he ever had to do. But he knew it was the right thing to do. And that's why I think it's going to work. Because
he was crying?
He was crying in the interview.
Who was?
Brad Stevens. They asked him about Marcus Smart.
Really?
He was crying.
I want to see it. Can you find it?
I didn't see it live. I read about it. The person who talked to him, I can show you the article. I'll send it to you.
I want to see him
They said
cry.
he got emotional. Like, he was emotional. He was crying when he talked about this guy. He's like, and he said it was the hardest thing he ever had to do. And he did it. And by the way, that's his job. To make a decision that nobody else would have the guts to make. Okay?
I mean, is there something you're doing
Have you
for
seen
the
this?
past 48 hours to keep yourself away from just being consumed with this? Are you watching different movies? Are you binge? What are you doing over the last 48 hours not to lose sleep and not be yourself in this
Honestly,
situation?
I met 3 girls under the age of 21 with terminal cancer. And I thought I was helping them by talking to them, and they were helping me. And so having an understanding about what life is really all about and watching a girl dying and smiling and enjoying her life, that's what it's really all about. And having that faith and understanding that. The other thing is you always hear people, give glory to God and say thank you when they're holding a trophy. But you never really hear it in times like this. And so for me, it's an opportunity to just sit right where I'm at and just be faithful. That's what it's about.
How has that changed you? I mean, how do you change your outlook, the big picture, all of this, the above?
I mean, it makes you better, regardless. I think it starts with that.
Damn.
Mr. Missoula.
That man is 34 years old.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
And the funny thing is, I never saw that clip.
I just saw it, and I was like,
Yeah.
gives me a little different impression.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's got his shit together.
He's got his shit together. And what I said earlier about him swallowing his pride and making that move, that's a sign of maturity, of growth, and that bodes well long term for this team. Because that's the kind of leadership from him to Brad Stevens moving Marcus Smart, who he didn't want to do this. He was Brogdon was his first choice. He did not want to move Marcus Smart, but he needed to get this kid Porzingis, which gives them this trinity now. He had to do something he didn't want to do, and he understood the importance of it. They got younger. They got better. This dude on defense, by the way, Porzingis. Yep. Yep.
You think he's a good defender?
I know he's a good defender. You should hear the people talking about him on the other end of it. It's not just me. It's every expert in the fucking industry talking about it. This guy on defense, almost 2 blocks. They're talking about his win percentage one-on-one. He can play. He can actually switch the screen and roll and defend a guard. Actually defend him. He knows distance. Kevin McHale never got enough credit for what a great defensive player he was. And everybody talked about he was long. It's one thing to be 6'10".
He was long.
It's another thing to know how to use 6'10".
Well, to be able to use it, too.
Kevin Garnett is the perfect example. He's the one that comes to mind because he won the damn award. 6'11" and knows how to use his wingspan to negate the advantage of a smaller, quicker guard. Okay?
Even when you're not super
Kevin
thick.
McHale used to guard James Worthy. Now, if you don't know who James Worthy is, you don't know basketball. He is the ultimate finisher on
Who's
the fast
James
break.
Worthy?
James Big Game James. Call him Big Game.
he-
You know why they
he-
call him?
they started that with
You know
him?
why they call him Big Game? It's him. It's not starter. It's him. In the closeout game, of the finals against the Pistons, Big Game James, 36 points, 16 rebounds, 10 assists. Do you know who was on the floor with him when he did that? Magic fucking Johnson and Kareem fucking Abdul-Jabbar. Two of the top
and he was
six.
the best player on the
He
floor?
was the best player on the floor in Game 7 of the big James Worthy. Big Game James. 30. Let me sing
he's
that
a Tar
again.
Heel, right? Is Worthy a Tar
He's a
Heel?
Tar Heel. Played with Jordan in Carolina.
I thought. Was he older when Jordan was there? Was he like a senior?
He played against him in the finals. He was a senior when Jordan
He was
was
a senior and
He was a
Jordan was
junior
a
or senior when Jordan was a freshman. He was 2 or 3 years ahead of him. But anyway, they played together. They won a national title together. The bottom line is, Big Game James, okay, fucking
You don't hear that much about Worthy.
because of Magic and Kareem. Think about who's on the start. Think about that lineup. And they have a guy that went 36, 16, and 10 in the finals against the Detroit Pistons.
People want to act like there weren't super teams. I mean, I know that one was built.
But they built that team.
I know, but
that's why I love them.
But my God, to have that team,
Those 3 guys, and
it's all homegrown.
and the Celtics with
That's
Bird.
crazy.
This is why people don't understand this rivalry.
well, no, they got Kareem
from Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, but they drafted Magic and Worthy.
but that's kind of similar to how it's done now. No,
Not 3. No, not 2. Magic and Worthy are Golden State.
yeah, you're right.
the one- yeah.
You're right. Golden State.
The thing is, like this is the thing. Like
I mean, the Spurs did that.
the Spurs did it.
Spurs.
But that's why I have more respect for those guys. They built it. Look, I would rather watch something get built from nothing than watch somebody just pull all the pieces in there and buy it. Because anybody can fight. If you have the money, you can do that. That's easy. Okay? But to fucking find it, to put it then to coach it and develop it, that's a whole fucking other thing that Joe will never understand. Okay? And that's why I laugh at him when he talks, because I know what the fuck he's talking about. Red Auerbach, when he tried to say Jerry West was a better GM than Red fucking Auerbach. Let me explain something to you. Red Auerbach.
Let's not go down this
Red
path.
Auerbach. No, but this is the thing. It was built.
I know.
And that's why you always say to me, what's the difference? I would rather watch something created than something put to buy. It's like the fucking Yankees.
It feels more real.
It is real. That means, by the way,
real.
for someone to do that, you had to really do some fucking work to build it. And then like, oh, I've got all this money. All right, where do I go? And people tell you, get that guy, get that guy, get that guy. That's not that fucking hard when you have the money. But to fucking go find it, that's a whole. That's why Golden State to me is a great.
Hard.
It is hard, but
it's
look,
not as hard
the Bulls,
as
Jordan, Pippen. Listen, I mean, it was 2 out of 3, if not all 3. Okay, in Golden State, it was Draymond, it was Steph, it was Clay. They drafted all 3 of those guys. That is built.
Yeah,
that's where Red
Let's go
Auerbach.
good GM.
That's incredible GM. Red Auerbach did that for 4 fucking decades. Do you know what Red Auerbach's last 2 picks were? The last 2, and here's how unlucky the Celtics got, but there was Len Bias and Reggie Lewis.
Oh, man, they both died.
They both died, and I got news to you. And here's the other thing about the 2 of them. Look at the 2 of them against Michael Jordan.
What is it?
If those 2 didn't die, there would be no Michael Jordan. Red Auerbach.
No way.
Oh, really?
Really?
Really? Len Bias in Chapel Hill, and Mike Krzyzewski talks about this. I learned this from Mike Krzyzewski. He told the story. Dropped 41 points on Michael Jordan's head in Chapel Hill. Reggie Lewis, who was drafted a year later after the Celtics
Where was Len Bias? Was one of them Maryland?
Maryland, Lefty Drizel. And Mike Krzyzewski, to this day, the 2 best players he ever coached against, Michael Jordan and Len Bias. Len Bias was a 6'8" Michael Jordan. He was, and if you doubt that,
6'6"?
6'6". He was a 6'8" Michael Jordan with a better jump shot. And if you doubt that, go put in the fucking tape. You will watch this guy and go, holy fuck. And the Celtics got him coming off the 86 title. Bird was in his prime. These 2 are going to play because Red Auerbach is a fucking genius.
How did he have that
He
pick?
made a trade.
Did they have the first pick?
They had the 2nd pick. He knew. Red Auerbach knew 2 things. He knew that the Big 3 was going to get old and that Michael Jordan was coming. And he knew that before 86 because he made the pick in 86, and 86 was the year Jordan dropped 63 on the Celtics in the Garden. And they lost because Larry Bird was on the other side. But Michael Jordan would have beat any other player and any other team in the world that day. And it's still a playoff record. And he lost because Larry Bird was on the other side. Okay? And Red Auerbach knew before then, this is the next hurdle. Michael fucking Jordan. And he didn't draft 1. He had a plan. He got Bias in 86. He got Lewis in 87. Reggie Lewis, by the way.
Reggie Lewis down in the court.
Down the court. In the offseason, yeah.
And then
he collapsed in the playoff series with the Charlotte Hornets.
And Len Bias died of what? Using
cocaine overdose on the party. Like 2 nights he was partying and he never did cocaine before and did a bad and he died. Talk about bad luck. Oh my God! And by the way, Jerry West,
such bad luck.
Jerry West, who was in the league when he saw that draft, literally fucking almost threw himself off a cliff. He knew it was over. It was fucking over. It was done. The next Celtics dynasty was built, and then he died. Look at him against Jordan in college. Look at Reggie Lewis against Jordan in the pros, and come back here, and I want to see that look on your face when you look at me like I've discovered fire. Okay, because I didn't discover anything. Red Auerbach did it.
You've done it.
But Joe will never understand this.
Fire.
Anyway, back to the current day Celtics. The bottom line is down nostalgia lane here. This is what Betty will do to you. Anyway, The bottom line is, if you look at what Brad Stevens did this week by moving Marcus Smart to get this kid in here, and I get it. He played for the Knicks. He's scorned this guy. And I get why he hates him. Okay? And then he went to Dallas. He went to Dallas with Luka. It was supposed to be him and Luka 1-2, and he fizzled out in Dallas. Right? And then he goes to D. Now, here's the thing. He goes to D.C., and this year, 24 points a game, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks. He played 65 games.
He lit the fucking Knicks up.
He played 65 meaningless games, but here's the thing. He played them. Most guys of that level on a team like that tap out. They fucking tap out. They tap out. Okay? Or the team puts them on and says, you know what, we're going to tank this like they did in Dallas last week. This motherfucker played 65 games. Like he's
That's the most he's played in a while.
Yeah, well, see, he has 66. He played in 1 year, 72 in the other. He's in
Played 72?
72 in his rookie year.
Okay, it's been a while.
And then in his third year, he played 66, I believe. But this is only the third time, to your point, he's gone over 60 games. And you're right. But the thing is, look at when he did this. Now, because he did that, he's on a team with not one, but 2 All-NBAers who are not 27 years old yet, 28 years old yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay? So, and he knows, because he's heard all this shit, this is his chance. This is his chance to fucking right all the wrongs. Brad Stevens did a masterful job in getting this guy, and then he got this 6'7" Stacey Augmon meets Scottie Pippen perimeter defender from Arkansas, who, you know why
Does he have alopecia?
I don't know what he has.
Is that why his head is bald like that?
I don't know. I don't know. It could be. I don't know. I didn't go that far into his hairline. I'm just trying. I was watching him play basketball. Okay.
No, I just remember what the guy looked like. I remember him from the.
I thought he just shaved his head because I don't know. Maybe that is it. I don't know. But anyway, the bottom line is.
That's the bottom line.
The bottom line is, I've probably seen, since this happened, I've probably seen 11 videos of him, 10 or 11 videos of him, and watching who he's defending and the way, and not just one-on-one, the defending the screen and roll. Now, who runs the screen and roll? Denver. Okay? So when you watch some of these highlights, it's the same two-man game at the top that Denver runs. And I'm watching him defend it. Now, no one told me this, but I've played the game, so I know I'm like, what he's looking at. Because if you look at his offensive numbers, he averages like 7 points a game. Like, why the fuck are you moving heaven and earth to get a guy who scores 7.1? The kid for Arkansas. Wow. He averages 7.1 points per game and 4 rebounds. You don't move.
You know his name?
I forget his name, but you don't move heaven and earth to get a guy like that unless there's something he does better than everybody else, and that is defense, and not just one-on-one perimeter defense. It's the high two-man game screen
Jordan
roll.
Walsh.
Jordan Walsh, the high screen and roll game that Denver destroyed Miami with, and everybody else in their path. They destroyed LA with it. Okay, this is what they do. This is their offense. And they've got the 2 quintessential complement players, Jokic and Murray.
Dude, Miami did that shit too.
They whipped Miami with it. They wiped Miami's ass with it.
No, but Miami did a lot of pick and roll to Boston.
Mm-hmm. But this is the team they got to beat. If the Boston Celtics had played any defense at all.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that cat.
Yeah. And here's the other thing about him. He looks mean. He looks like a mean motherfucker. He looks like that guy that you don't want to see in the alley at 2 a.m.
I remember watching him in the tournament.
Yeah, he is a lockdown. We talk about knockdown shooters. He's a lockdown defender.
All right, have you made love to the Celtics for long enough?
No, I think we have. Well,
23 minutes?
Can't do it. Can't stop at 23.
Dear
Can't
God.
stop at 23.
This motherfucker just made love to the Celtics.
We can stop at
for 23 minutes.
No, I threw in a little Bill Belichick in there.
That was like 3 seconds.
Was it 3 seconds?
Yes.
Really? I'm sorry, Bill. Well, you know, but
maybe,
you like.
No, it was maybe 8.
You like. Well, make up your mind. Is it 3 years?
No, because you said, he did some things with X's and O's that.
From a coaching
I've
perspective,
never seen in my life.
he is a great. I still think
But
the
then
man
you
can
just-
coach.
But then you just went on.
No, but Missoula. That was about how
20
Missoula.
minutes of the
That was about how
Celtics
Missoula made
history.
that adjustment that I didn't think he would make, and that impressed me because I didn't think the kid had it in him.
That
and he's
don't
a kid.
impress me much.
Think about it. He's 7 years younger than you. He's 16 years younger than me.
He's a beast.
Okay, so that bodes well. Is all I'm saying. Anyway, we're going to end segment 1 because now we're on minute 24.
This
and we
is
can do
segment
this.
2.
Oh, segment 2.
Where are we ending it?
I don't know. I thought you wanted to end it. Oh, you want to move on to something else?
No, yeah, let's talk
Well,
something else.
all right. Well, let's talk Patriots. Let's talk GMEN.
Jeez.
Well, then what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I can't go from the Celtics to the Patriots. Give me a break from Boston for a second.
Well, I said I threw the Giants out there. That was a. Well, it's football.
What's he talking about the Giants? Nothing's
Let me
changed.
ask you a question. Hold on.
Nothing's changed.
No, hold on. Things have changed, though. Let me ask you a question. They signed this tight end Waller from Vegas, who, when you look at this kid, he's a game changer. He's a fucking,
Well, yeah,
from a
but
talent
it's
perspective,
it's similar to like Porzingis.
he's a game changer.
It's similar to Porzingis.
He's been more durable than Porzingis has.
Well, he's only been in the league a couple of years.
Well, he's younger.
But he's missed a lot of games already.
Yeah, he has.
In his first, what is it, 2 years or 3 years?
I think he's been in like 3 years. I
Every
want
time
to
I try
say
to look something up, it takes too long because I don't get
he
service.
has that phone.
No, dude, it's a service on this stuff.
You know what? Actually, this is the one that works. I have. I'm sorry.
Your Wi-Fi connects to your device is better than mine.
Maybe you're foreign. What can I say? If I go to the GMEN,
You got some racist ass Wi-Fi.
Segment 3, racist Wi-Fi, America, myth or reality? Anyway,
Doesn't want to connect to the foreigner.
doesn't want to. You are not. You're the antithesis of foreigner. You're not a foreigner. You act like you live here.
No, you said
And you should.
said I was foreign.
No, I'm joking about the Wi-Fi.
I know, and I was making a joke saying that your Wi-Fi was racist.
I know. It says segment 3, racist Wi-Fi, myth or reality. I think that's
It's a fucking reality.
It's a fucking.
I'm living it.
I'm living in this hell. Anyway, Waller, the tight end. Let's see. So he is Darren Waller. Okay, he's been around.
What do you miss?
He just
14
turned.
games?
He just what's his birthday? I don't know. He'll be 31.
Really?
He's been around 6 years.
Wow.
Wow, I didn't know that. He's been around longer than we thought.
Okay, how many times did you play the full season?
I'm looking at it now. Twice. He's played.
That's not a good percentage.
Not a good percentage. Well, his rookie year was actually he was drafted by Baltimore.
So he's more like
Yeah, 2015, his first year was Baltimore.
Darren Waller?
Darren Waller, Baltimore,
And then they traded him to Oakland?
Oakland, Vegas,
Vegas?
since 2018 to 2013. And now, by the way, in that time he had 2 1,000-yard seasons.
Okay, so I'm right. He is like Porzingis.
Yeah.
He's more like Porzingis than I thought.
Well, Porzingis is 27 though. He's younger. But Porzingis started playing at 19 though. That's different. Mm-hmm. So they've been around the same length.
It's about the same.
You're right
thing.
there. That's about the same. Yes, that's true. So this
If this guy can stay on the field, he's their number one.
Yeah.
And they go for like the Kansas City theme with your number one is your tight end.
Dude, the 2 years he played a full season, which at that point was 16 games.
Okay, what years were these?
2020 and 2021, so not not long ago. He had in the first one, he had 90 catches, 1,445 yards, 12.7 yards a catch, just 3 touchdowns in the red zone. But look at those first
1,400 yards?
No, he had 1,100 yards, 1145. But for a tight end, that's amazing. Okay, then the next year, 107 catches, 1196.
Wow.
9 touchdowns.
107 that's Kelsey style.
Yeah. And then
How many yards?
He played almost 1,200 yards, 1196. So this dude has that in him. Now, here's the thing. He's still in the middle of his prime. But he hasn't done, to his point, about Porzingis. He shows talent, but he's never done anything. Here's his chance. Coming to a playoff team that won a playoff game that is devoid of passing weapons except for Slayton. Sorry, Slayton. But other than him,
make them a contender against teams that they had no business playing.
My thing is this: if they could get where they got without a guy like this, what can they do with a guy like this if he's on the field? I'm just saying. And then he wasn't the only. They made a couple.
No,
of
I mean
but
to get that far with your offense only being Saquon Barkley,
you can't.
And everyone
throw
knows, right, and everyone knows your only offense is Saquon Barkley.
Here is how great of a coaching job this was. They're in a passing league. The whole fucking league is a passing league. Okay? No one. To his point, the running backs are so devalued. It doesn't. Think about this. Jacobs not signed.
No.
Delvin Cook. Not
Let
signed.
Go. Let
go. Saquon Barkley, franchised it.
Derrick Henry, they're looking to trade him.
In this league, okay, look at the names I just gave out. They mean almost nothing. Okay? And the Giants, who have no one on that runs down the field without the ball.
Build their offense
around. No one. And they got to the final 8. You add this dude to that. And Danny Dimes, who talk about doing well with what you had. You can talk about Saquon all you want. To me, Danny Dimes was the reason they were successful because he took care of the football. He had a very high completion percentage, and he ran for over 700 yards.
Yeah.
He was a dual threat quarterback, and he didn't have one threat because all he had was Darius Slayton. Is that his name? He's the only guy he has in the passing game.
No, and
he
then your
did
number
that.
one receiver was a guy you got off of the Buffalo Bills practice squad midway through the year, Isaiah Hodgins.
Hodgins.
I mean, he's catching big passes, touchdown passes
And
in
that
the
kid
playoffs.
does have talent.
I know.
He's not devoid of talent.
No, but it's
So-
but he was like your number one in the playoffs.
My thing is, since we're in the field good, it's the midnight mass. Allow me to give you a little sermon. Okay, if I'm a Giants fan, and I get it, because the sexy thing is the running back who just had the 1,300-yard season, and the thing is, look at what's around him, what they're building around him, and look, he's not going to sit out the season. He would be crazy to do that. No, there's not one person on ESPN, there's not one person on the NFL Network, there's not one person anywhere suggesting, you know what, Saquon, you should sit this one out. His background doesn't allow him the ability or the luxury of doing that.
Dude, he's almost like a Porzingis
Yeah,
or a Waller.
a Waller.
It's just one of his best years was last year. That's
year.
the difference.
But he didn't play 2 years before that.
Right,
For
I
2
know.
years. So he can't just.
And the year before that, he wasn't the guy he was.
No.
It took him a year
He
to get
cannot.
back.
He does not have the luxury of being able to sit back and go read my resume. Can't do it. That's why I think he won't sit out. And his agent will tell him that. Look, man, you sit out this season, you won't get the fucking $10 million you just got.
No, but what it sounds like is the deal they're offering him
It's 12
is market value at least.
I think it's a fair deal.
Yeah.
And I think this is about pride. This is stubborn. I think eventually his agent's going to talk him off the ledge, and eventually he's going to sign this thing. He's still mad. But he's mad because he's wrong, and he's a 26-year-old who can't admit he's wrong. Oh, God, stop me if you haven't heard that before. So the point is that I think eventually he does sign him. When he looks at what the Giants are quietly doing around him, this team is going to be a better team on the
Well,
field.
he won't have to do everything.
He won't have to do everything. And if this kid Hodgins looks like he looked at the end of last season, you've got a guy out there that can Hodgins. If this
You
guy
also
looks,
drafted a guy from Tennessee.
you got a
who
kid who
won the
look
frickin' Biletnikoff Award.
he's good too. I'm saying they did
Even
some,
though
they quietly. It wasn't sexy. Waller was the sexy move, but they did some things behind that solidify and make this passing game better. It's better. And because everybody and their mother's going to put 8 in the block because they don't know this yet, the Giants can really have a lot of early season success until this kid literally. And listen, here's the thing about this league. While everybody's a copycat league, it takes a month or a month and a half for somebody to catch on to it.
Yeah.
Because they're all about, we're not dropping everything for this after 1 or 2 games, and we have to see a sample size. Well, here's the thing. The Giants could literally go through 6 weeks before somebody figures out, oh my God, this is a dual threat team.
Well,
'Cause
this
that's
kid
that-
Hyatt, I like his attitude. He was a wide receiver from Tennessee, and he got this.
This drink is masterful.
Oh yeah,
Should I get the
I'm
olives?
done with my second.
Should I get the
one. I
olives?
think we should.
You talk to the camera for a minute, because I already
Okay.
have them prepped. Anyway,
But
go on about the Giants. I want to hear.
no, but Jalen Hyatt. I wanted to talk to you about him.
Go on. Hold on. What about Hutchinson again?
Hodgins. I mean, Hodgins was surprising. What the hell am I going to talk to y'all about Hodgins about? Okay, so it rained for like 6 fucking days in a row. We got these mosquitoes everywhere, and they're the little ones, and the little ones are the ones that bite. Okay, but what I was saying, olives.
The delay word.
I mean, this is the most guinea thing you could ever think of.
Gee, who's running this ship? 2 guineas.
That's right, and I love it. I'm here for it.
I can't imagine
The fact
why.
that my guy comes out with garlic and jalapeno stuffed olives for our set snack is just beyond belief. It's
It's wonderful.
where else would you rather be?
I don't know. So anyway, back to this kid.
Jalen Hyatt.
Yes.
Okay,
So
so
what's your deal with him? What's your take to this?
so I think he's got a really good fucking attitude. He seems like a hard worker,
Yeah.
and he seems like somebody who's not scared. So I've seen a couple different things. There was a video of him, I think it was at the combine or at a pro day, and there was
Go
a
on.
Dallas coach was talking to him, like a receivers coach,
Yeah.
and he was like, well, you know what you are, right? Like they were talking.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you know what you are, and he was like, what am I? Like he could tell the guy was insinuating
Yeah.
that everybody knows who this kid is and what he can do. He was like, and then when he challenged him and he was like, what am I? He's like, well, you know, you have a skill set. He's like, what skill set is that? And he was like, and the coach was like, well, you're a speed guy. because the whole rep about this guy is that he can't run routes.
Oh, okay. So he's just
And Jalen Hyatt goes. So the coach goes, you're a speed guy, and he goes, and then Jalen Hyatt's like, but I can run routes too. And the guy was like, well, we'll see. And he was like, yeah, we will see. And he went out there and he fucking ran his routes. And I like the fact that he didn't just accept the fact that this NFL coach was telling him what he thought he was.
That's a good sign.
I like that.
That's a good sign.
Then, recently, I saw on Twitter, they were posting stuff about the fact that he hasn't been working with the first team.
Hasn't or has?
He hasn't. And he said, and they asked him about it, and he said, I like starting from the bottom. I like that answer, too.
How old is this kid?
I don't know.
How long has he been in the league?
They just drafted him. They drafted him in third round.
This is a rookie?
This is the kid that won the Biletnikoff Award in college last year.
He said all that?
Yeah. That's pretty cool, right?
And I thought I was being positive. That's even better than what I was coming up with.
I love starting from the bottom. I like to prove it. I was like, okay, fucking yeah.
He did come from the SEC. The ultimate prove-it-to-me league.
Tennessee's good this year, too.
I mean, look at how many draft picks over the past 10 years, and look at how many came out of the SEC just in the first 3 rounds. That's a good sign. And again, and I get why he's where he is and where Giant Nation is, because it's all about getting Saquon into camp. Yeah. I get it. The thing is, at the end of the day, Saquon Barkley is not going to sit this season out. And unless somebody comes at them with a massive offer to get him at training, right before training camp, he's not going nowhere. He's
got nowhere to go.
Got nowhere to go. Somebody's going to have to come into this party. Okay, I don't think the Giants want to get rid of him. I think they want to keep him because he's good. He's good for the team. He's a locker room guy. They respect him, and he's coming off a great year. And they've added some weapons around him that are going to make him and them better.
But here's something that's even
and make
more
no mistake,
important.
the Giants, if he's on board, are going to be better this year.
Something that's more important: the offensive line. So, Andrew Thomas is their left tackle. In terms of ratings, he's a top 3 tackle in the league.
Mm-hmm. Left tackle.
Left tackle.
That's the one you want.
Okay, so they drafted him, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Last year he had a really good year.
Mm-hmm.
This other guy they drafted last year, Evan Neal, he's their right tackle. He did not have a good year.
Okay.
But they're looking at him to be like Andrew Thomas.
Okay.
Because sometimes that offensive lineman's first year is tough.
Yeah.
Like, they're learning how to play against DNs that are different.
If you think about, we always talk about this with skill position. Quarterback, receiver, defensive, like cornerback, left tackle or right tackle, offensive line, period. You're going up 2 levels.
Yeah.
Minimum in this league. And a lot of times, especially
the shit you have to know.
If you're a left tackle in this league, other than center, left tackle is the next thing. Because 95% of these quarterbacks are right-handed. You're the blind side protection. You have to be that dude.
I feel like
to
you have to
that
understand
role.
so much.
And that's why
about
left
offense.
tackles get paid so well, because that dude is protecting your franchise. A lot of times, he's doing it alone.
Yeah.
Because the tight end's on the other side helping the right tackle. Okay? So he's naked. And to be that dude, you got to be telling you.
Okay, so a left tackle we like. We're good there.
That's big.
One of our best positions.
That's a big hurdle.
A right tackle, we need him to grow this year and really increase his performance. And then we drafted a center from Minnesota, I believe. So coming in as a rookie, if he can play big at the center spot and the right tackle can grow and develop into an actual good lineman.
Yeah. How old is the right tackle?
This was his second year.
So he's young.
Yes.
This is all right. So he's got this
Maybe-
hope
maybe
here.
his third year.
If he was a rookie, that's okay.
No.
All right. He's got the lumps out of the way. That first season's always the hardest.
He had a really tough season. I don't know if that was first or second. I can't
But they
remember.
brought him back because he showed promise.
Oh, well, I mean, they invested in it. He was a first-round pick.
So he took his lumps as a rookie. That's normal.
So
That's normal.
if he can grow, a rookie center is scary. However, we haven't had like a really strong center since fucking Sean O'Hara when we won the Super Bowl. That's how long it's been since we had a really good center.
We're going to devote our preseason football talk to offensive and defensive line because America doesn't hear about it enough, and you need to, quite honestly, because that's where the game is won.
Yeah.
We can talk about these flashy quarterbacks and these jets for receivers. The interior is where this game is still won and lost, and we are going to devote. But to his point about O'Hara, I remember O'Hara because he took 2 Super Bowls from me. And that dude, and we didn't have just anybody in front of him. We had Vince fucking Wilfork in front of him, and he did a hell of a job on Vince Wilfork.
And both of those Giant teams were built on the lines.
Tom Coughlin.
Were built on the lines.
Tom fucking Coughlin. Bill.
Well, he wasn't the GM.
No, but he was the coach, and he had the GM's ear clearly. Okay, look at the Bills' front 4, and look at the offensive line. You went to 2 spots. That was the difference in their games with the Patriots. And the Pats do the same thing. The Giants were just better up front in both scenarios. Now, the first one, Brady was in a boot all week, so they couldn't run the game plan against them, but they would have run against – if you see the 2003 Super Bowl against the Carolina Panthers, look at that front 4. It's very, very similar to the Giants of 07. And they never sacked Brady.
Yeah.
And if you look at the Pats' game plan in that Super Bowl, they could never employ it against the Giants because Brady he couldn't move. And that was the problem. And I was laughing. You guys don't know what you're fucking talking about. Watch the Carolina Super Bowl in 03 against the same fucking front 4. And those guys, and Julius Peppers, look at this front 4 was just like the Giants. Just like
well, dude,
and they
but
couldn't,
the
they couldn't
second
get
time
to
we
him.
played y'all, the front 4 was still nasty.
Wes Welker dropped a pass in the seam. Think about this. That game came down to two plays. Wes Welker in the seam and Manning's career-defining throw.
Dude, but do you remember that game opened with a Tom Brady safety in the end, like throwing the ball?
Yep. He made a mistake.
That was like the first fucking play.
Yep, he threw a pick. And then it was a pick.
It wasn't a pick.
What was it? Oh,
He was about to get sacked, and he just launched
it was intentional
the ball.
grounding at a safety.
And you never see intentional grounding throw. He threw the ball straight.
Yep.
But there was literally no receivers around. They rarely call that.
And later in that same Super Bowl, he set a Super Bowl record for consecutive completions in a row with 17. So he clearly righted his wrong.
And lost.
But then, because Wes Welker dropped a pass in the seam. That if he catches it, the game's over. Game's over. And that's when Gisele Bundchen got turned around when she's got head going, my husband can't throw it and catch it at the same time. Which, by the way, she's 100% right.
Why did you say that?
Because the guy was saying, you're just giving a shit about Brady. Brady's numbers in that game were awesome. He played awesome in that game. He wasn't the reason they lost.
Oh, of course not.
But Eli Manning made the greatest throw of his life. He did. And the guy made a great catch. I mean, the Patriots were there. It was on the outside shoulder.
It was a perfect play.
His upper body was out of bounds.
It was a perfect play.
If you look at it from the sideline camera, he's out of bounds from here up, but his 2 feet are in. Eli puts it right over the left shoulder. There's no one else who could have caught it. It's him or it's nobody. Insane. That's what it took to beat the Patriots. Okay, and they made 2 or 3 plays in both those games. That is what it took to beat them.
Right.
That's how good the Patriots were. But don't believe me. Look at the 6 fucking banners up there. Okay, and the bottom line is, when you talk about the interior lines, though. The Giants won 2 Super Bowls because that was the strength of their team on both sides.
Yeah.
The Patriots won 6 Super Bowls for the same fucking reason. Now, it doesn't hurt that your quarterback is Tom Brady because when that line or something else screws up, Tom Brady can overcome whatever else that is because that's why you pay him what you pay him. That's why you pay Patrick Mahomes what you pay him. And Aaron Rodgers, who, by the way, has really never done that.
But see,
Mahomes and Brady have done it.
The only thing about the Giants, in their second Super Bowl, the defense was not as good. And Eli carried that team.
Brady was healthy in the second Super Bowl. You know who was not? Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah. I'm talking about the whole season.
Yeah.
Eli carried them that year.
That was his best year, I thought, of his career. And he's a Hall of Famer. I've been saying that.
He beat San Francisco in the championship game. And
Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer.
He got his ass beat.
And no one wants to hear it because he has this hayseed persona. But that's not really who he is. That's not really it. He is the brother of Peyton Manning, and believe me, he was not absent when I had class. He played in the SEC at Ole Miss. He was a fucking stud. You go back and look at him at Ole Miss, okay? This was no fluke. Okay? No fucking.
Eli was great.
He was great. Okay? His brother happened to be Peyton Manning. Okay? So anyway, the bottom line is, when I look at the Giants, there's more reason for optimism.
In the biggest moments, he was better than Peyton.
He was. He was a better playoff quarterback than Peyton Manning was. He was. If you think Peyton was a better regular season quarterback than him, but he was a better postseason quarterback than Peyton. He was. That's a statistical
And even
fact.
Peyton's second Super Bowl,
Yeah.
he did not look good that season.
Talk about being carried across the finish line.
I mean, you got two guys on both sides carrying you.
Von Miller in that game, what he did to that Seattle, was it Seattle? No, it was Carolina. Was it Carolina? What he did to that offensive line, Von Miller was the MVP of that Super Bowl, I believe. He destroyed. And
Yeah,
Cam
they
Newton,
beat Cam.
Cam Newton was on the other side. They were 15-1. He and Newton won the league MVP. What he did to that offense, it was Aaron Donald type shit. It was. It was. That's who it was. It was Michael Strahan type shit. It was Ray Lewis type shit. Okay? It was that type of shit. Okay? So the bottom line is the Giants have a lot more reason for optimism than pessimism. It's just the big thing is the shiny thing is Saquon because of the year he had. But look at what's quietly going on around him. And at the end of the day, he's going to be in there. So
I hope he gets in there soon. What is July 6th the date?
No. The training camp starts the third week of July.
Right,
Rookies-
but doesn't he have to sign the thing by
I thought he had to July 17th.
Oh, it's 17.
Yeah, because training camp is the next week.
Okay.
The rookies come in, I think, on the 19th and the 20th or whatever it is, the 20th or 21st, and the veterans report that Thursday, that following week. So anyway, with most of the teams, okay, there's a couple that start a little early, but when I mean early, I mean like 5 or 6 days earlier, but like the 17th or the 18th. But he has till, I believe, July 17th to sign this thing. So he's going to take his sweet time. And by the way, his ego is, look, you're not who you are or who he is without an ego like that, so it's a necessary evil. But it's hard to check that ego when you look around the year you had compared to some of these guys who are getting more money than you. But he's looking at it as a small sample. And that's how the Giants should be looking at it. But they still offered him that deal. And it's a fair deal. To your point, it's a fair deal. So we'll see if he takes it. With the Patriots, I said 11 to 12 wins without Hopkins. And I say that for two reasons. And this is the thing. People are saying this about them. This is why I laugh about America, how stupid we are. People are saying this about the Jets, and this is why everybody's so high on the Jets. Aaron Rodgers is basically, they got this coordinator because of Aaron Rodgers, and this guy is running Aaron Rodgers' offense. Well, if he's running Aaron Rodgers' offense... Well, guess what, dickheads? O'Brien runs Mac Jones' offense from Alabama. It's his fucking offense. And if you listen to every fucking beat right up in Boston, every fucking one of them, dumb as a stump, all of them, they're all going, wow, they look like they're in mid-season form. Holy shit, the pace, everything looks different. No fucking shit, Sherlock. It's his fucking offense. He's run it before. He's run it for a fucking championship and a Heisman finalist.
I don't know what's happening.
It's called Dumbass. I'm speaking dumbass now for the dumbasses out there who keep singing this crap about a 38-year-old fucking fraud who chokes when it matters most versus a guy who won a national championship out of the SC fucking C. He's had 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years. He already made a fucking Pro Bowl. And he had Matt fucking Patricia. The definition of dumb as a stump, boys and girls.
Backed up by Joe Judge.
Joe Judge, because you know what? 1 stump isn't enough. Why not have 2? Okay? So anyway, the bottom line is now Belichick does a 180, brings in a guy who's worked with him before, who's had success with Brady before, so he knows that offense, and now he's running Mac Jones because together they won a national championship with it. And this is how are the Pats not going to be 4 or 5 games better if they have a top 10 defense? Like, this is why I laugh at Joel, 3rd in the division. You need to talk about ultimate up your head, up your ass comment. Shit against the wall.
Yeah, but by the same notion, you could also say the Jets with a top what defense?
Top 10 defense.
Top 10 defense.
Yep.
Gain a quarterback.
Here's what we know, boys and girls.
Right, like, don't you think Zach Wilson was worse for the Jets than Matt Patricia was for the Patriots?
No, I do not.
Did you watch Zach Wilson?
Did you watch the Patriots offense?
It was better than the Jets.
Only because Mac Jones is the fucking quarterback.
No.
Yeah.
Because Zach Wilson
Mac
is
Jones did as well as anybody could have done in that situation.
Give me a
Give
break.
it. Oh, really? Given he's only in the league 2 years? 2 years? Are you fucking kidding me? What quarterback in his second year could have handled a fucking disgusting display of as that? They missed the playoffs by one fucking game. One fucking game in that division with Miami and Buffalo and the Jets. One fucking game. If that dickhead wasn't the coach that had won 12 games last year, and everybody in America with a fucking brain between their ears knows it. Okay, that's why they're all laughing at fucking Philly for signing him.
But if Zach Wilson wasn't the Jets quarterback last year,
it's a. I'm saying it's. I'm saying
decent was.
I'm saying I don't. Do you think Zach Wilson is better than Mac Jones? I know he's not.
Definitely,
he's not. He's not even close.
Nowhere near it.
Nowhere fucking near. One guy won a national championship
Wilson
and a Heisman.
Has no business being on a team.
No, he doesn't. That's the Jets' fault.
No, but my point is,
I'm saying.
But at the same, you're trying to tell me that Matt Patricia
fucked everything
is worth 4 games, but Aaron Rodgers isn't.
I'll tell you why Aaron Rodgers is not worth 4 games. 1, he's in a better division now than the one he came from. Number 2, the guy who his coordinator with, he's never won a fucking thing with. He's been his coordinator before. He wasn't there when they won the Super Bowl. He's never won anything with this guy.
To me, it's not even about that.
What's it about?
It's about how much better than Zach Wilson he is, even at 38.
It's not going to matter because he's in a better division.
Look at
the other 3 teams.
The Jets won what, 7 games last year?
Yep.
With Zach Wilson.
Well, he wasn't there for all of them. They had dumped him by. The kid. Who was the kid?
Mike White.
Yeah, him.
Who did
he
nothing.
won? No, he won a game with them.
Yeah, he won 2 games.
Well, they won. Yeah, 2. So the bottom line is they only won 5 games with him. But the bottom line is the other guy won 2, and he was a better quarterback than he was. The bottom line is, look, the Jets were in a tough division last year. They're going to be in a tougher one now because the Dolphins got better.
If they had a quarterback last year, the Jets would have made the playoffs.
If the Patriots had any other coordinator but him, they'd have made the playoffs.
Well, there would have been 3 wild cards coming out.
Which, by the way, is going to happen this year. It's going to happen. It's going to be the AFC East. It's going to happen.
Everybody in the division can't get in, can they? No, they can.
Yeah, there's 3 wild cards. Technically, all 3 can get in.
So they could.
Could happen.
Yes, because it almost happened in the NFC East.
Yep. 3 got in.
If the the fucking Commanders had done anything this year, they would have been in.
And they were 8-1.
Right?
Yeah.
But they couldn't beat the Giants.
I'm saying that I expect the Patriots and the Jets to both be better. I think Buffalo's going to be the one that takes a step back. Look at what's going on. Miami, too, because I think Tua's going to get hurt.
Yeah, I'm scared about that.
I'm afraid for him.
Yeah.
I don't want him to get hurt, but I have a feeling he's going to take a shot. And I think he's going to
step back. Stephon Diggs, that situation's going south. Jets and Pats come up.
There's problems in Buffalo right now. There's problems. Real problems.
Wings ain't right.
There are issues in Buffalo. And the fact that the head coach said what he said in front of a camera doesn't bode well for Buffalo.
I'm very concerned.
If I'm a Buffalo fan, I didn't like it.
Why do you say that?
Because he doesn't know.
But why
he
would
doesn't
you
know what
stir it up?
He doesn't know what he thinks he knows. Because you don't say a damn thing. What you say is, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's business.
It's business. I don't know what you're talking about. And by the way, if that did happen, I wouldn't talk to you about it anyway. That should have been the response.
Why were there rumors that Steph Diggs got arrested or something?
I didn't even hear that one.
Yeah, I saw a rumor on Twitter.
When? That day?
Right after he wasn't at camp.
He came in, he took his
physical. Nothing happened after
He was given permission by the head coach to leave. This is the other problem. This guy's a bad liar.
What's his name?
McDermott. Bad liar. If you're going to lie, at least be good at it. I don't know what's going on. I'm deeply concerned. Yeah, I thought he wasn't. I haven't seen him. Then the next day, well, he came and he took his physical. We gave him permission to leave. Are you fucking kidding me? That reeks of a cover-up, boys and girls. Okay, so and then Josh Allen falling on the
come out yet.
Well, it won't now because now it's going to be this because now that's all come out.
No, then Josh Allen's like, he's my fucking brother.
No, I need to be better. It was all me.
It's like, all right, Josh.
It was all me. It wasn't the game plan. I didn't set that game. With Josh Allen, and again, he did the right thing. He took the bullet. This wasn't Josh Allen's fault. This is the offensive coordinator who called the fucking plays. That's whose fault it was. So the bottom line is...
do they have the same coordinator?
Yep. So here's what happened after that press conference. Buffalo's brass saw this blowing up in their face, shut everything down, got them both back in the building, and they hashed it out, at least for now. Because 24 hours later... yeah, we're all good here. Yeah, came in, took his physical, passed it with flying colors. He had
Now
something
he's
going
in
on.
camp?
Gave him permission to leave. It was all set. And every reporter was going, "What? Who are you? And what have you done with Mr. Coach McDermott?" Because that's not the McDermott I saw 24 hours ago, who was like, I don't know. He's very concerned.
So concerned.
When you go from that one extreme to the other, boys and girls, there's a cover-up going on. That quickly, that's a whole. They stepped in, saw the media, saw the fan backlash. Oh, whoa. Stop. Grab the assistant coordinator. Grab Diggs. You get his age on. You get your ass in this building right now. They squashed this as fast as they could. For now.
Like a Goomba.
Problem is,
like a Goomba
problem
Mario
is
Brothers.
they were asleep at the wheel for 5 fucking months, so they're just as accountable as everybody else in the building. So
Fucking
when I say they squashed it, that doesn't mean they resolved it.
squashed it like a Goomba.
Yeah, they didn't resolve it.
We've got to talk about something else. Mm-hmm. It's weird talking about football right now.
It's almost July.
I know. It's just like,
What do you know?
I'm not into it yet.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
You want to talk about the Wimbledon? Oh, you hate tennis.
Wimbledon?
Wimbledon, the greatest tennis tournament in the wide world.
No, I don't want to talk
No,
about
see, I don't want to
Wimbledon.
talk about that.
What else you got?
What was, my biggest regret as a avid lover of comedy, I never got and again, this is no one's fault. It just didn't happen. I never got the ultimate what if for comedy would have been in the same movie, Robin Williams and Jim Carrey. I would have given anything to see those two together in a scene. I would have given in their prime. Like, we're talking Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber. We're talking with him, Aladdin. Fucking think about Robin Williams and the comedian that he had. Put those two. How that never fucking happened, I'll never know. Nobody in Hollywood went, you know what? We got to find some script that we can put these two in.
That's two giant personalities.
But I think what they both love is comedy, and those two don't have a problem when it comes to comedians. They love all comedians.
No,
I don't think
I'm not saying they have a problem with each other, but getting those two fucking personalities to be productive on a set.
I think they both look. Jim Carrey made it work with Tommy Lee Jones in Batman Forever. And Jim Carrey as the Riddler was
that was
fucking.
one of the worst movies ever.
No, but he was funny as hell as the Riddler. He was good.
That movie was awful though.
He was good though. Yeah, because of Tommy Lee Jones. He sucked.
Yeah,
he fucking sucked as Two-Face. He sucked. Jim Carrey was the draw. That and Nicole Kidman's legs, but I digress.
But
the bottom
that
line,
movie was just boring.
I know, but Jim
It had
Carrey
all
was
those cool characters in it,
yeah,
and it was boring.
But Jim Carrey was the only one who made it funny or worth. He was hysterical when they're sitting there and he meets him for the first time. He goes, "By the way, that's never going to heal if you don't stop picking."
Dude, have you seen
his face is a fucking.
Have you seen
scare.
the Riddler in the new one? That shit's fucking creepy as fuck.
I won't watch anything from James Gunn or anything associated with James Gunn. He has destroyed DC, and I hope he goes splat. He got rid of
because of that 4-hour thing.
He got rid of.
I thought you said you liked the 4-hour one.
That's Zack Snyder did that. The Snyderverse is what we're trying to restore. He fired Cavill, Affleck, and I'm told Gal Gadot is gone now.
Really?
Wow, what a moron!
I heard The Flash was good.
No, it's not. You should read the reviews.
Kids loved it.
Yeah, well, the kids don't know what the ending. The ending. There were 3 different endings, and the first one had.
Don't tell me.
Okay, well, anyway, the bottom line is, the fans of DC Comics like me hating everything about it. Going, what is this fucker doing? Right down to Flash's uniform.
So what about the Batman with the guy from Twilight?
Awful.
I didn't think it was that bad.
He is boring as fuck. There is no depth to him. He looks like a regurgitated, throw it together. Oh, wait, who's the female Hearthstone? Get him. He's got dark hair, even better. He's 6 feet, perfect, he'll fit in the suit. That's what that looks like. That's what that looks like. I don't ever compare that
like
dude
the way the
as an
movie
actor to Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, or the other, even Michael Keaton. He's not even as good as Michael Keaton.
Dude,
was.
none of them fucking touch Christian Bale.
Christian Bale's the best by far, but Affleck, having
None of
followed
them
him, did pretty
touch
well.
it.
Affleck was good. He wasn't him. He wasn't Bale. Bale's the best Batman ever. No one's gonna.
But see, here's the thing.
But as an
not
action,
only was Bale the best, his 3 movies were the best.
the best Trinity I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
I've ever seen.
So the fact is,
I've ever seen. Speaking of ever seen,
Alice gone.
Lord.
What made what better? The movie made him better, or he made the? I mean,
I think it was
that
both.
movie was just.
look at when Zack
story of
Zack
both 3
Snyder.
movies.
Look, Ben Affleck can act. He can act. He really can. If you don't believe me, look at all the different roles he's done. He can act. The bottom line is, he was following Bale. That's impossible.
Yeah,
That's
he had
like
no shot.
that's impossible.
He had no shot.
That's like the guy following Michael Jordan. Fuck off. It's not fucking happening. Okay, or the guy following Kareem in L.A. or Bird in Boston. It's not fucking happening. See, James ain't gonna be a problem because he fucking jumped ship so long. He's never around long enough to fucking have that kind of an effect. So the bottom line is, okay, he's not. It's true. Okay, the bottom line is Tim Duncan. In fact, this
Always
kid,
got to take a shot.
this French kid's got to follow Tim Duncan. Good
Wembley.
luck. Good fucking look.
Yeah, but it's like 10 years after Tim
Does-
Duncan.
Those banners ain't going nowhere, pal.
Yeah, but it's not following
Dude,
like
the
Duncan
21
retired and boom, here he is.
No, it wasn't. They've had some time to puke all over themselves and realize how much they
Right,
made.
so they've been in the
But
shit.
at least,
so
at least,
if he makes them
but
better, he can
it's
still be.
different in San Antonio because Duncan retired a Spur,
Right.
just like Kobe retired a Laker.
And Pop is still there.
Pop
too.
is still. By the way, this kid, talk about it. That's the best scenario. He got Pop as his coach.
The fact that Pop is still there, even though I can't stand him.
No, but he's a hell of a coach. He's a prick.
But
I
I
get
just,
it.
yeah, I don't.
I don't like him as a person, but the man can coach.
So I like his politics. I'm on a similar.
Actually, politically, I thought you'd like him a lot.
I do like him a lot, but I don't like the fact that like he always treats reporters like shit,
That's where the Bill Belichick.
or
comes
at
out. I
least,
can't stand it.
or at least like, to me, that's all they showed. So I don't know if that's all he does.
Dude.
But it seemed like he would always treat reporters like shit. The only time
He
ever got nice that I saw was when Craig Sager was dying of cancer.
Yes, he did a very nice thing in that moment. He did.
But my thing is like, so somebody had to be dying for you to finally be nice.
Look, this is why I get on Belichick. Same fucking reason. It's a Belichick fucking approach.
Like,
And it's like
Greg
and-
Popovich is one of the best basketball minds we have.
Yep.
And he's spending it crotchety.
Yeah.
When he could be like teaching people the fucking game.
Now, in his
Well,
defense,
obviously he is.
here's the difference between him and Belichick.
His players.
He didn't run his golden boy out the door like Belichick did and try to prove he could win without him.
Yo,
Okay.
did you only make yourself one?
I was going to ask you, do you want
need
to?
ice,
Yeah.
son.
Well, I can't pour this without the ice. I was going to put this here and ask you, would you like a drink?
Excuse me, sir. You were making your own.
Well, I wasn't done yet. Can I finish making mine before I get to
No,
yours?
you make them at the same time.
No.
You're a goddamn bartender.
You're a goddamn-
You know how this works.
I'm not working
You don't
right
make
now. I mean, I'm working right now, but
you
I'm not
don't-
working right
You
now.
don't make one at a time.
I don't see any.
You put them down. You give a shot
Hey,
to you. A shot
where's
to
the
me,
full
pour
tip
to me.
jar? Where's the full tip jar?
Pour to me. Pour to you.
I don't see the full tip jar.
The tip
I
jar.
was going to
The
make you
tip
drink.
jar is the vodka.
I was going to make you a drink. Okay, I was just finishing mine first, and you got all bent out of shape.
No, I'm not.
I
I'm
didn't
just-
know it
I'm
was
breaking
rush
your
hour,
balls.
and there was 10 guys behind you going, "Hey, I want a 7 and 7.
breaking
Hey,
your
how
balls.
about what was that one? A dirty mother. Wait,
I'm breaking your balls.
leaping lizard.
There's a dirty bong water.
Dirty
And on that note, I have to use the bathroom.
Oh, look. What a surprise. Tom's annual bathroom break brought to you by.
Diet Dr. Pepper.
We should literally have a sponsor for Tom's annual bathroom break. This bathroom break brought to you by Tito's, because you'll certainly need a bathroom break after it. Terrible. This is terrible. Hey, look, he's drinking and driving. No, he's not. He's sitting at a bar. He's well over the age of 21. Actually, I'm kind of sad about that. And he's not driving anywhere. America, the comforts of my own home, if you will. I hope this witching hour you're doing the same thing, because it's summertime and gosh darn it, why not? Anyway, Tom is draining the vein. I mean, now to his credit, he lasted an hour, and there's still a lot of iced tea in there. Plus, he's been having a few cocktails. I got to give him a little props. He lasted longer than he normally does. But at some point, the dam was going to break, right? Metaphorically speaking, of course. So anyway, Tito's bringing you this bathroom break segment. And, of course, Patriots, the Super Bowl team from 2018, the last banner right there. Right there, boys and girls, under the camera. You can't see all the light, but there it is right there. Patriots, baby. Got two of them there. Joe Boo, you know Joe Boo's sipping when I'm not looking. You know when the lights go off, you know, you go in, he takes a little how's your father, a little where's your sister, a little who's your brother. That'd be the hypnotic Joe Boo himself. But anyway, what I was saying was, what the hell was I saying? We were
Something
talking about
very important.
We were talking about how this one being. How do you say this kid's name?
Wembayana.
Wembanyama rolls off the tongue.
Wembayana. It's
Wembayana.
Wembayana.
There's a lot of vowels in there. She's not Italian.
It comes across a little.
It almost looks Italian when you look at it, but then when you pronounce it, it doesn't sound.
It's almost like Africalian.
Africalian. Ooh,
It's like African and Italian.
Africalian.
Wembayana.
New word. Wait, is that one you looked up, or you just make that up?
No, I was just blending two cultures.
Say that again.
Africalian.
Africalian. He's an Africalian.
He's an Africalian.
Anyway, he's getting Popovich, who has a track.
Saying
David,
Italy and Africa
think
are
about
like-
the resume. If you're this
Italy and
kid,
Africa are very
this
close.
guy's handled David Robinson and Tim Duncan to success.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're this kid, this is like hitting the
When
lottery.
did Pop get there? I mean, Robinson had already been there, right?
He'd been to the finals, but he hadn't won.
No, but Robinson had already been there when Popovich came, or
I don't know.
Was Popovich there when they drafted him? I don't think he was there when they drafted him.
No, he wasn't. But
'Cause he was
came
there in the
early on.
80s, right?
No, Robinson was 87 or 88.
Because didn't he have to do 2 years?
He was
in
the number
Navy
the
or
Navy.
whatever?
He was the first pick in the draft out of Navy. He was the number one pick. Won a league MVP. Scored 71 points. No one talks about David Robinson. I mean, it's amazing how great he was. And he was a fucking talk about a fucking Greek statue. Holy fuck.
Yeah, he was.
7'1",
And
who could
fucking
move like that. Built
lean
in a military guy. Holy fuck. This is this is Captain America, but this is where he ends. David Robinson pops out of the fucking. That's him. Amazing. And by the way, a great dude. Class act. David Robinson was a class act. Not a bad thing has ever been
You're
written.
supposed to have that
Not
open?
a bad thing has ever been written about David Robinson.
He definitely seemed like a good dude.
So it go him, Duncan, and now this. I mean, damn. And they drafted all three of them.
Wembayana.
So I mean, the Lakers.
Do the Spurs have any players right now?
They've got a. I don't know if he's.
I haven't seen a game televised.
They've
with
been
the
so
Spurs on.
bad for a while now. Since when Kawhi left, they just fell off. And again, Kawhi Leonard didn't leave, they would have never fallen this far. But I mean, the thing is, like, and then we got Derek White last year, who was not if they're not their best player, but their second best player last year.
Oh, what'd you give them for him?
I forget. High draft picks, I think. And we threw a player in there, but I don't remember who he was. But anyway, the bottom line is, if you're this kid, this is the coach you wanted. Absolutely. So, and they're in a small market, so it's not like New York or Boston or DC or LA, Chicago, places like that where the media's gonna be breathing down your neck every day. Now, of course, you're gonna draw attention because who was it?
Big of a
The
player
guy
in
who
that
said, who was the guy who
market.
said it? The NBA analyst who said it was like at 19 years old. This guy said it, and he's not wrong. He was better than Luka, better than Jokic.
Really?
And look at what these two have arisen to. Yeah, he was better than both of them at 19. He was played in the same league they did, and he won the league. They didn't. So, yeah, this kid is for real. This kid's for real. From a talent perspective, he's for
So
real.
he just won a championship in this?
In the French league.
Really?
He made his debut at 15. Luka was 16. 15, he started playing professional ball. Okay? He can shoot threes. He has a handle like God. He's 7'5". And by the way, he plays defense like he's 7'5". He's mobile. He paroles. I'm telling you now, this kid. Now look, they're not going to win right away because to his point, there's not a lot around him. But
yeah, I don't even know anyone else.
but if he stays healthy, the key thing is healthy. Now, he doesn't have a track. Here's the other thing: he doesn't have a track record of being injury prone so far.
good.
So that's a good thing. So
Most people look at him and he's thin, so they think he's frail. I mean, that's my first.
he's 19. I mean,
Yeah, he can put a little weight.
he can put on 30
But his frame
pounds.
is not going to hold a lot of weight.
We don't know that.
It's kind of like
How many
KD.
7'5"?
It's like-
Yao Ming's did.
It's like Durant.
Yao Ming's did 7'5". He had a 12-year career. For his knees,
No, but Yao Ming was much thicker than that dude.
he was 7'5".
Different frame though.
Well, how do you know that? I mean, we don't know.
Look at him.
Yao Ming was more filled out when we saw him,
Right.
but he didn't come in at 19 either. He wasn't 19 when he got here.
I'd like to see him at 19.
Yeah. I don't think he was what he was at 28 as he was at 19. And I
Is that
bet,
when he came in the league? 28.
No. I'm saying he took him. No, he bulked up as he got here.
No, but he
when he
came
came
in
in,
the
he
league, he was
wasn't.
big.
He wasn't Sean Bradley. Sean Bradley was a stick. This guy wasn't. Yao Ming wasn't Sean Bradley.
That's what I'm saying.
But he wasn't what he was
But he wasn't Yao
in
Ming.
his prime. Yeah.
Okay,
But he
I'll take that.
he wasn't. So this kid is look. The thing about it is the game's also different now. It's not as physical as when Yao Ming played because there were guys like Shaq. There were still true centers out there. The good news is I think it's going back that way, which is what's going to draw the appeal with this kid.
Dude, but didn't you see that thing I sent you today?
I passed out. No.
It was just talking about how the guy, I think the guy you were talking about from 2 years, no, 3.
Chad Holmgren from Gonzaga.
No.
Who's
We're
that
talking
one?
about the big men that didn't get drafted.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that?
Yes, it did.
And you were already talking about that with the guy, Cockburn or Cockburn?
Coffee Cockburn.
Yeah.
Harvey Coburn.
Remember, he
Illinois,
didn't
who was
get
25
drafted?
and 11 and didn't get drafted. He was over in
Fucking
China,
crazy.
over in Taiwan, tearing it up. And
So the thing I sent tonight was there was the guy from UConn.
yeah,
What was his name?
who was the defensive Oganamanu, whatever. Yeah,
It's an African name.
Yes, African. Kid's nasty.
Yeah.
He was
He
the
didn't
man.
get drafted.
Yeah, he won.
Timmy didn't get drafted.
Timmy didn't get drafted. Everybody's sleeping on Timmy. I'm telling you now, he's a 6'10", potentially. I'm telling you, he's 6'10", and he can shoot the three.
Nobody's
you can't
valuing
in
the
this
thing.
league. And the way the rules are now, you can't ignore a 6'10" sharp shoot.
Sonogo. And then Kentucky,
That dude who won that.
Oscar.
Yeah.
Se-
But see, he can't. The other two guys
Siegwe?
can. Yeah, he can't.
He got the National Player of the Year in 2022.
Yeah, he didn't. He
Really?
can't shoot though. The other two can.
Yeah.
He can't shoot. The other two. The dude from Connecticut has legit
See, I
post
don't know
moves.
that guy, but I
And
remember.
Timmy has a little bit of both. Timmy has the outside game and he can post up.
Yeah, he's a crafty.
He's
kid.
he's offensively speaking, you can do a lot with that kid. Because he's 6'10".
See, I always underestimate white guys from the Northwest. And I mean, that's not fair.
It's not fair.
it's
Michael
just-
Porter Jr. is a heck in Denver. Look, he's a heck of a player too. 6'10".
He's not white, though.
Michael Porter Jr. What is he? He doesn't look black to me.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's
He
mixed.
must be light skinned. He could be mulatto. He could be.
Mixed.
Yeah.
Michael Porter
Junior.
Yeah, I think he's.
That's not him. That's Murray.
No, that's him.
I don't know what he is.
I think he's biracial.
Whatever. Okay, fine. But whatever.
That's
I mean,
But yeah, I underestimate
Yeah.
white guys
so
from the Northwest.
I would tell you that in terms of how do you say his name?
Wembayana.
Wembayana. Keep forgetting the Bayana. Wembayana. He
No,
has
maybe it's not that.
what?
Wembayama.
Is it an M or an N?
Wembayama.
Wembayama. We'll get
So
this
it's
right.
WEMB.
Wembayama.
No. Yes. Well, but it's WEMBANYAMA. But I think that ends probably. I don't think you say Wembanyama. I think it's Wembayama. Wembayama.
And this is not the time to try to figure this out because we're both stoned with the Jesus. In any event,
We're gonna
no,
have to see this.
I like the what looks like trending. There's big men coming back into this game, and the ones that didn't get drafted, I think, will get picked up before training camp because there's just too much talent
Big
out
men were
there.
coming back into the game. Why wouldn't they have fucking drafted those dudes?
Because I don't think they believe it yet. They think that Jokic is the one-off, and I'm telling you, he's not.
Hold on a second. Michael Porter Jr. is fucking 6'10"?
I think he is.
Holy shit.
Yeah, 6'10". And then you got Gordon with him.
Look, his father's a black man.
Okay.
Let's see what his mother is.
I
Lisa.
couldn't.
It's Michael Porter and Lisa Porter. Where is she? Oh, they don't have her.
Of course not. Never. Just disrespect mom. How's mom not having
Hold
one
on, this
shot?
might be her.
Don't disrespect mom. Come on, get mom up there. They're always looking in the camera saying hi, mom. Anyway.
Hi, Mom.
Anyway.
People still say that? There she is. I think she's a white woman.
She's white. Yeah, biracial.
He's got a white mom,
An African
black
American
dad.
dad. Yep, there you go.
So he's white and black.
He's both. But the bottom line is, look, this kid, Timmy can play. The kid from UConn can play. The kid from Kentucky, his one drawback, I've seen it, he doesn't have a jump shot.
Well, that's kind of like the
Yeah.
curse of Kentucky.
Yeah, Antoine Walker, who was didn't have a jump shot. No, Ron Mercer had a jump shot, but had nothing else. But the bottom
Like
line
Derrick
is
Rose.
Derrick Rose.
I mean, he built himself. He got better in the league.
Derrick Rose, he reminds me of Grant Hill. But he actually won the league MVP. But, of course, Michael Jordan wasn't in the league when he won it because that's why Grant didn't win it because Michael Jordan did.
Derrick Rose won an MVP?
He won one league MVP,
Man.
in Chicago. And that talk about following in tough footsteps. Jordan?
for real.
Oh, God. Anyway, but the bottom line is, so when we look at these big men that are just going undrafted, but I think we both are in agreement that they're not going to be unemployed at training camp. People are going to pick them up.
Hope not.
They are.
Did you see what Brandon Miller said?
The Mets, the Knicks, if they're smart, either one of those two, Sanogo or Timmy, would be smart for the Knicks.
See, they have two
Either
big
one
men.
of them would be smart. Timmy can play inside. Timmy's a 3-level scorer, like Luka. And he's 4. Here's the thing. Everybody talks about Luka. You know how fucking slow Luka Doncic is? He's the definition of slow. Okay? And no one can stop him. This kid is quicker than Luka, and he's 4 inches taller. Timmy. In a small ball league.
Why wouldn't you draft him?
I still can't understand how that kid didn't get drafted. Or the kid from UConn.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to believe that the big man's coming back. But they're going to find out. I got news for you. Boston bringing in Kristaps Porzingis, who is 7'3". I got news for you.
Dude, what do you think about what Brandon Miller said?
For Charlotte?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said next year I see the Hornets in the finals. Possible or M?
In the East? But I love his attitude. I love his attitude. You guys saw Top Gun. You think your name's going to be on that wall? Yes, sir. Everybody starts giggling. That's pretty arrogant considering the company you're in. He goes like this. He goes, yes, sir. He goes, I like that about it. I do too. Because honestly, that's what made Kobe Bryant Kobe Bryant.
I like that about it.
That's what Kobe Bryant was in the locker room before the first All-Star going, I'm going right at MJ. Fuck him. He's 19. That's why he became Kobe Bryant. So, duh. So, yeah.
And he was on the mind of MJ because MJ was talking shit about him before the game.
So you know why? Because of his confidence. The game, I keep saying, the game is 90% mental. Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, all these guys up here, they're alpha dogs. Tom Brady, alpha dogs. Mahomes, up here, they think they're the best fucking thing since sliced bread, and they go out there and go, "Fuck you!" That's why they're who they are. That's part of it. Larry Bird was famous for this shit. He would yell at the other coach for putting a white guy on him. The African Americans have a field day with this. Larry would go over. Charles Barkley tells the story. Charles Song was like, Larry, what's wrong? Like, why are you all disrespecting me, man? And Barkley said, what the heck time? I was like,
I heard this
yeah. He goes, why are you putting, and Barkley looked at it like, you don't put a white guy on me. That's just disrespectful. Barkley didn't know what to say. He just like, what? He just started laughing, and Bird torched the guy. And he's not the only one that tells that story about, they did it with, they were talking about Craig Elo in Cleveland, and this guy, Terrell Brandon, who was a point guard, was a really streaky, tough guard, and he's a rookie, and it was 92 Bird's last year. It's last year. And they put Elo on him, and Bird looked over, and he's like, what the fuck, Brandon?
Terrell Brandon was there when Craig Elo was there?
92.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and he tells a story how they put Elo on Bird out of a timeout, and Bird came out. As soon as he saw it, he started yelling at the Cleveland bench going, are you fucking serious? Mm-hmm. This clown? Me? You fucking, then Bird fucking lit him up. and when his back was done, he lit him up. And Terrell Brandon tells this story.
They refused to take him off of him?
Well, they did. They took him off after he scored 5 baskets in a row.
Jesus Christ.
Bird scored I think 5.
Fucking moth around.
He scored 4 or 5 times in a row, and they took him off him.
I want to watch that to see what I look like when the moth hits me in the face.
But the most famous story is Jamal Mashburn, the Dream Team. When Rodney Rogers, who was the All-America first team, tells Larry, you ain't hit jump shots since 04, and Bird didn't hear it, but Magic did. And Magic went and told Bird, and the next day Bird got the ball 9 times in a row. And Mashburn's on the court, and Larry's going, 1 dribble right, pull up, bang. He's telling him what he's going to do before he does it. He scored 9 baskets in a row. He takes himself out, and then he's walking out and says, hey, Rogers, look a lot like 84, doesn't it? And Mashburn was like, that's when I knew how great Larry Bird was, and he was done. That was Larry Bird past his prime. What the fuck was he like?
Then Larry Bird went and laid on a table for 12 hours while somebody stuck acupuncture pins in him.
But that's the thing. Jordan was like this. So when this kid,
it all comes down.
When this kid for Charlotte says that, if I'm a Charlotte fan, fucking, is he delusional? Yes, but that's all right. Because by the way, he's the number 2 pick in the draft.
Is he delusional?
Should or should not, if you're a top 5 pick, are you not supposed to be a franchise player?
Yeah.
Well, you only become a franchise player by winning championships.
What, he was the 2nd pick in the draft, wasn't he?
He's a franchise player. He's supposed to be, and Michael Jordan was smart to pick him. That'll be the last move Michael makes, but that's a good one if this kid pans out, and he will.
Well,
because
if he's anything like Kwame Brown, Michael will regret it.
Kwame Brown didn't have this kid's mentality. Kwame Brown did not have this. Kwame Brown would never.
Shit like that.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He challenged Michael Jordan to a fucking one-on-one game, said he would beat him.
I'm not talking about challenging a 48-year-old, 49-year-old guy. I'm talking about looking at a camera going, we're going to be in the finals next year. That means I'm going to beat talent that's in my age bracket. Not I'm going to take out a 48-year-old what has been. That's not impressive to me. He's 48. When he's talking shit to Jordan, Jordan's 48 fucking years old. Hey, good for you, Kwame. What are you, 20? Hey, way to go. Pick on the 48-year-old, Kwame. But he still lost to him. because he's a fucking gutless wonder. Okay, Kwame Brown is one of the biggest busts of all time. Okay? And it wasn't because of that statement. Okay, but trust me, I tell you, this kid comes from Alabama in the SEC. This kid's not that dude. If he says that, he actually believes it. And if I'm Charlotte, that's what I want my franchise player to think. Not, well, we're going for the 10th spot this year. Maybe we can make a run at it. Is that what you want to hear out of your franchise player? No, you want to hear, give me the ball and get the fuck out of the way. Because that's what a franchise player is. And the evidence is from here to fucking Massachusetts on that. So I have no problem with what that kid said. Whether or not I think he's delusional or not, it doesn't matter. The point is, you need that mentality to be successful.
All right, here we go. Kwame Brown's bold first words to Michael Jordan.
Famous last words.
Proved he wasn't the least bit intimidated by the NBA legend. I heard a lot about you, but I think I'm better than you. Big words.
How'd that work out, by the way?
Not well. That's what I'm telling you.
Kwame Brown tells Michael Jordan he's better than him, and then proceeds to
average 6.6 points a game over 12 seasons. Never made an all-star team.
Never did anything but collect a paycheck. I mean, a fucking thing.
But when the two
and make
became
excuses
teammates on the Washington Wizards in 2001, Brown proved he wasn't the least bit intimidated by Jordan.
What
by
dickhead wrote?
Immediately challenging him to a game of one-on-one.
This is like Russell. This is like Joel talking about his fucking prediction. In the toughest of times, with the weight of the world on my shoulders, the apocalypse upon us, World War III.
So 2000,
I made the call.
the toughest call.
And Russell and Joel, you were wrong. Dead wrong. He wants to romanticize the guts to make the call. No one was listening.
So listen to this.
They were all laughing at you, and they ended up laughing at you. So nothing changed, Joel. No one's giving you credit for making the call.
So,
there's another delusional nut
look,
job.
Jordan and Kwame didn't get along too well during the stretch because Jordan thought Brown wasn't a hard enough worker.
What would he know?
That assumption proved to be correct.
Yes.
As Brown never scored more than 10.9 points per game in a single year.
Gee, Mike might have been onto something. I love when it's Captain Obvious and the stupid people still can't see it. Just like, duh. Michael Jordan suspected this man's work ethic or lack thereof.
Listen to this shit.
He was deemed to be correct.
It was fun. This is Kwame. It was fun. I beat him in one-on-one, too. The first thing I wanted to do was play him one-on-one. Just like if I was a boxer,
Yep.
The first thing I want to do is spar one of those great heavyweights.
Yeah,
so the
past
first thing
their
I
prime,
said was,
because I know I'll get the better of
I
him.
heard a lot about you, but I think I'm better. So we ended up playing basketball one-on-one. It was a fun game. Good game. I jumped out on him quick, and then he started doing the MJ thing, fading away everywhere. He wouldn't let you back him down. That's the stipulation. What?
This is from a total bust. The highlight of his life was playing pickup
Oh, listen
ball.
to this. Brown might have claimed that he got the best of Jordan in their game of one-on-one, but another account of the game told a different story.
What a fucking surprise.
Ooh, in Michael Lee's, or Lee.
What a
Leahy's-
fucking surprise, America.
In Michael Leahy's 2004 book, When Nothing Else Matters, he explains that Jordan...
Nothing would be Kwame.
He explains that Jordan humiliated Brown in a not-so-friendly game between the two.
That sounds more
Early in the game, believing he had a lunging, jabbing Jordan off balance, the kid dared to say, "You reach, I'll teach." Jordan snapped.
Which all the greats do.
Jordan
What?
snapped. "You teach, and I'll knock you on your damn ass." He proceeded to humiliate Brown, mocking him while scoring at will, declining to help him up when the teenager fell hard to the floor, winning lopsidedly, and at the end yelling to Brown to acknowledge his superiority in front of the team. "You better call me daddy, bitch." It's possible these two were separate instances, but this story is much more believable than Brown's for obvious reasons. That's a good story.
Obvious reasons. One guy's got 6 rings.
So Kwame Brown lied to the media about beating Jordan one-on-one?
Gee.
That's embarrassing.
A high-profile athlete not telling the truth on camera.
But, like, you're going to lie on the fucking goat?
I've never heard that
You're going to
before.
lie on the GOAT?
I've never heard this before.
Dude, you're going to lie on the GOAT.
Who was it Mark McGuire? Who was the guy who said, I absolutely, in court, he did this, did not take steroids?
That was Rafael Palmeiro.
And then he tested positive.
That was
for steroids.
Palmeiro.
And then he tested positive for steroids.
Dude, and then his dumbass, then you know what his dumbass said? Because
It's not the
he
first
said,
time, America.
I never,
Ever. Looked at it, ever.
took steroids. Then after he tests positive, he comes out and does the same exact thing, changes one word. I never knowingly, ever. Fuck you. You never knowingly? You bitch. Oh, so you just don't know what the fuck you're taking? You're just like, oh,
In Kwame's
what's
case,
this?
I never knowingly knew that Michael Jordan or that other story was going to get out. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said what I
What kind
said.
of jackass lies on the GOAT?
The first pick in the draft, total bust. That's who.
At least
Because-
he had a
because-
12-year career.
Because there was always talk about his potential.
But at least he had a 12-year career.
If Michael Jordan
gotta
didn't
lie
draft him
on
number
Michael.
one, he wouldn't have lasted 12 years. Michael Jordan saw something in the kid from a talent perspective, but then he got to know him. And he said, this kid in here doesn't have it. And he was right. Again, 10% physical, 90% mental. Boom. And he ain't the first one. Jamarcus Russell. Remember that fucking quarterback out of LSU? That fucking the
Throw
kid
75 yards
fucking
sitting down.
taking a shit. He throws 175 yards and
They
hits the
said
guy
he could throw 75 yards on a seat.
on a toilet seat.
Not on a toilet seat. On a fucking chair. He could throw 70 fucking yards on a chair.
And where is he?
On a chair.
Where is he?
He's on a chair.
He's outside in the street with a cup.
No,
Okay.
no. He got fucking $60 million.
Talk about stealing.
Hey.
The greatest. See, everybody talks about the Lufthansa heist in Goodfellas. How about Jamarcus Russell? How about the Lufthansa? Hey, Lufthansa, move over. Okay, I got Jamarcus Russell.
Security. You're looking.
I'm the commandant.
You're fucking looking at
I'm the
him.
commandant.
You're looking at him.
From midnight to 8, I'm the commandant.
The fucking joke.
Yeah.
All right, calm down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm a little
Jamarcus fucking Russell.
excited.
That one. Okay.
Dude, there's plenty of those.
Hey, some African American athlete one time heisted over $60 million off a billionaire and got away with it in broad daylight.
African American?
Yeah.
What are we, the cops?
Heisted off of a billionaire owner. Well, the billionaire owner's. I'm just saying, it just adds to the story.
Does it?
Kid came out of nowhere, came out of the poor neighborhoods, city neighborhoods, and look what he did. He got $60
Was a
million.
heist.
He got $60 million out of this motherfucker, guaranteed. Hadn't taken a professional snap.
He changed the game with that.
Hadn't taken a professional
He changed the game with
snap.
that.
Jamarcus fucking Russell made $60 million. Fuck Lufthansa.
Fuck Lufthansa.
Fuck the Lufthansa
Fuck the
heist.
guy from Dumb and Dumber who was security.
Yep.
Remember?
Hey, I owe you $295,000. I want to hold on to that one. This was better than that. Okay. Jamarcus Russell is the king. Okay.
I want you to keep all these.
Yep. Keep all these. They equate to about $4 million. This thing, $60 million over the top, guaranteed from a seat. I'll throw one football 70 yards for $60 million.
What was all that $1 in a million talk? You're married? What was all that $1 in a million talk?
Harry, you're alive.
God, there's so
And
many,
you're a horrible shot.
so many good lines in that movie.
Oh my God. Anyway,
So many good lines.
that's the end of segment 2 because at this
She wrote
point,
me a John Deere letter.
at this point, there's nothing else to laugh about. I mean, but I'll tell you right now, Jamarcus Russell and Kwame Brown are a good way to send off. Talk about give me a break. But this kid from Alabama who Charlotte signed, yeah, I want that attitude out of my number 2 draft pick. I don't want, well, we're going to try really hard.
Right, but
And we're gonna see if
Kwame
the
Brown,
planets align.
Kwame had that same.
No. Kwame talked to a person. Okay, he's talking about his team. We, not I. We expect to be this way. Not, hey, I think I'm better than you.
A 40-year-old at the end
A
of
40-year-old at
his
the end of his career. Hey, woo, way to go on a stretch there.
I want you. I heard
Way
about
to go on a limb there, Kwame.
Yeah, I heard about you, Mike.
Yeah.
Come on.
I was taking a shit when you were shitting on everybody in the world. But anyway, there's a difference between individual and team. And that's what I'm talking about. This kid that talks in terms of we, not I. And that's what you want out of a top 5 pick. That's my point. Kwame was number 1. The first thing he talks about is I think I could beat a 40-year-old MJ.
Well, I mean,
That's your fucking goal in life?
Wembayama has to talk about we.
How about-
way
yeah.
more because he's French.
Yes.
He's always saying we.
We. Yeah. So.
We.
Anyway, that's our
We.
segment for the night, folks. It was great getting up with you guys. Oh my God, it's almost 4 a.m. Literally getting up with you. Cue the steak and eggs, Sherman. But you guys enjoy your week. We'll be back. I don't know if it's going to be Monday or Wednesday. I'm leaving. Actually, it's got to be Wednesday because I'm leaving Thursday night. We'll probably do a Monday, Wednesday show for the
Sunday?
recap.
Dude, I can't do Monday, man.
Do Tuesday.
All right, I could do Tuesday.
We
Because
did Tuesday
I go
before.
to the office too. No, but I'm in the office Wednesday. Can't we do Sunday?
We can do tomorrow night.
Because
It's literally 24 hours from now. We're going to be back in less than 24 hours, boys and girls.
dude, doing it before I have to go into the office kills me.
I know. All right, we're gonna do Sunday night, and then we'll do Wednesday night because he'll be home Thursday. Sunday, Wednesday schedule for this week. Then I'm gonna bring the show up north. We're gonna get our early football predictions. Gonna get the Cowboy fan Pete, the Steeler fan Mark, Sean Darcy. Hey, look, it's a wall of greatness. Brady, Russell, Darcy. That's all I gotta say. Talk about icons, all 3 of them. Anyway, Sean will return for an
Left out
episode.
Latrell Sprewell?
Was that who that was? How many rings has he got?
More than Darcy.
He doesn't have any rings.
He's got the same as Darcy.
Sean Darcy delivered a baby in the backseat of a car as a firefighter. Let Latrell one up that.
Latrell Sprewell invented these spinner rims.
The defense rests, Your Honor.
He's a legend.
Until 24 hours from now.
Until soon.
The redoubtable one, the highly questionable, and we're going to finish this lovely cocktail. I suggest you do the same because it's almost breakfast, baby. Hey,
I gotta pee.
1 month Sunday football. We'll see you tomorrow night.
1 month?
Stay loose.
What, the Hall of Fame
Right,
games
Aaron?
in a month?